Do do do. I really got to get a better ending for that video.
Hmm.
I will. I need to redo it anyway. The end of it's not. The picture's not big enough. I got a lot to learn still, but whatever. Doing everything I can on my goddamn own. I don't know why. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thursday night wrestling outlet. I am Boxman. Glad to see everybody. And across from me, yeah.
Well, of course, I'm the voice of a generation, the one and only Smark Wahlberg. How are you? I mean, I already know the answer because I talked to you before we started, but
yeah. I've had a pretty bad week this week, folks. I'm hurting pretty bad, but
I
I
feel
need.
bad because it's like it's not really a reversal of fortunes because it's been like a lingering problem for you,
Mm,
unfortunately. But like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I would say I had my arms been fucked up. Like
yeah.
I had my elbow hurt, my wrist hurt,
Mm,
had a little bit of a shoulder problem. Now all of that's fine.
yeah.
I'm feeling good. I had 2 really good gym days this week, being able
Nice.
to get back into lifting as usual, and so I'm feeling good, but
Good.
feeling a bit beaten up.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling well. That's a good thing. I like that. I like that someone is feeling good, but I'm just this whole lower half area thing has been going on. I mean, I went to Florida last July and it was already 3 months into that. So I'm going on over a year and a half in the same pain. I'm driving even further than I did before. My little dog walking around back there. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bitch, moan, and complain. But I've had a shitty week at work. On top of it, I've been fucking yelled at, cussed at, and I am glad to be here because honestly, man, about 2 seconds after the fucking mixer gets turned on and the music hits, I just forget about everything, man. It just goes away. That's why this is wrestling outlet. This is our outlet. Everything just we woosah here, Smart. Woosah.
There you go.
That's it. We're fucking singing kumbaya and shit.
Ooh,
Kumbaya, my Smark.
that's
Kumbaya.
right. Got you some kombucha tea in there for you. It's
No, Coors Light. I've been without pills for 3 fucking weeks. That's another reason I'm fucking dying over here. But I wasn't taking any opioids or anything. I was just taking meloxicam, which is a really powerful anti-inflammatory, which was helping my drive, and a nerve pill. I do still have some of the muscle relaxers. Haha. So
nice.
on bad nights, I can only take a half. Otherwise, I wake up like I just drank a 12 pack.
Oof.
So I've been cutting them in half, taking them and taking them at night, so at least I can get a little bit of sleep. But I haven't taken those in a couple. I don't like the way they make me feel. Honestly,
Mhm.
I mean, if they made me feel like I was drunk or something, I'd be happy with that. But just I feel foggy and a bad foggy, like I can't think foggy, and I don't like getting like that. I got kids, man. I can't do that. So
Right.
if I take it, it's like late at night, like 11:30. So I usually just save those for weekends. So tomorrow night, I'll be popping one of them motherfuckers,
Ooh.
or a half of one. I've been thinking about taking like a piece to work and like just seeing if it works because I am dying, dude. Like a quarter, but
Right.
I'm afraid I'm gonna be fucking passing out at my desk, which I do anyway. But
When I was 21, I had like a very minor operation, but I had to get painkillers, muscle relaxers, I think. Anyways, I had painkillers, and I made the mistake of bringing them to my job, and I made the mistake of telling somebody that I had them. And he made me 3 offers ascending each time to buy them off of me because they were straight up they were hydros. And like
oh,
I don't do pills, so I didn't realize the fact that like I had myself some valuable cargo
oh,
with me.
sir, you had yourself some money makers,
Mhm.
as they
I
call them.
really, and I think I held on to them. I think I stopped taking them anyway. So I probably should have just went ahead and fucking sold them.
Yeah, you're better off not.
Yeah, that's true.
You're much better off not, dude. Just don't become a pill dealer, Smark.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't do that, Smark. Deal weed. Don't deal pills.
Mm.
Is it
I actually
legal?
had somebody get expelled from my high school for dealing weed.
Really?
I knew him.
Is it do y'all have any recreational like up there? Any legal weed or anything up there, or is it just kind of like here right now?
It's a very weird gray area. We do the Delta 8 stuff.
Okay.
Um, I've seen like in Pigeon Forge, which is like the big tourist area that's like where Dollywood is and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Not too far from Knoxville. They apparently sell like THC items.
O, THC
So
O, THC H, THC P.
yeah, I don't know anything about it these days. I haven't smoked weed or done any edibles or anything like that in fucking years.
Tell you, man, if that delta that delta mixed with whatever, that shit fucking works, dude. This little pen, that's what this is. This is I buy these at the store. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a where I work is like the mecca of vape stores, LED stores, and it's all wholesale. Very few stores on that street are for the public, but I found one guy who's for the public, and he's a really good guy, and they've got these bad boys, and they're legal. I buy, they're bought in a store, and they're it's does the I'll tell you what, man, 2 or 3 hits does the fucking job.
Hmm. Very
So
good.
it works, man. It works, and I like the vape because honestly, I can do it at work.
Mhm.
I can take a little break, do what I need to do, come on back. But yeah, so that's really about it. Smart, I'm glad you're doing good. Glad you're all healed up and feeling better. You sound don't have a cold this week either. So 100 back to 100%, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing
Nice,
good.
nice, nice. I like to
On the
hear it.
same job that I was working at, this guy almost tried to buy my fucking hydros off of me. Um, this was when I was in my early 20s. I was working at Pizza Hut, and like being in the pizza restaurant, the Super Bowl was always a really big day. But for whatever reason, one of the years the Super Bowl, I guess its game was boring or whatever, but like we just were slow as shit.
Hmm.
Well, because you had mentioned, having the vape and being able to bring it at work, take a break or whatever. You really didn't have to hide what you did when you when you work in restaurants. I've come to learn. So like the manager, his name was Leroy. He was a cool dude. It was me and him, and he looked at me like we weren't doing anything. He's like, "You want to go outside?" I'm like, yeah. So we went outside. We went outside. We had ourselves some fun, and it was funny because like he got me too high.
Oh yeah.
But we were like, because I was fucking stoned out of my mind. But we weren't doing any business, and he needed to cut people anyway. So he was like, "Hey, you want to go home?" Like, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's probably for the best for everybody.
that'd be nice. I'd like, yeah, go home good. Yeah, good. Good
Go
stuff.
home and lay down for a while.
Yeah, I got that way once when I worked at a oil change place. You don't know how many of those guys are down there fucking just smoking weed because you get a nice stinky car in there and you can't smell shit. But we were down there. We would smoke out of a PVC valve or PCV valve, positive crankcase ventilator valve.
Okay.
We would break one and smoke out of one of those. A
Right
lot.
on.
Probably horrible. It was fucking, you know, unclean aluminum and shit, and probably horrible for us to be doing. But we did it anyway. And one day, my buddy, we'll just call him JC, and he comes in with some fucking this stuff. You could smell it underneath when he opened it from the top. It was just stinky, stinky, sticky weed. And man, we took like 5, 6 hits each, and both of us were like, dude, I don't feel so good. I'm a little spinny and nauseous. So fucking high, dude. And we were the only two there. So we had to fucking just tough it out. And we had cars coming in. And we were in, I mean, this is Boca Raton. We're in a rich part of the area, there's people.
Kind of the older side of things, more retirees, that kind of shit. That's what I've heard about the area. I don't know anything about it, but that's what I've heard.
Boca Ratona's half retirees. The other half, where I was right across from us, was a gorgeous, beautiful gym. Oh, fuck. Look, I don't want your Bitcoin. Send it to Smark.
Yeah.
A Broken Sound gym is what it was. It was a gym and all glass in the front. We used binoculars a few times. That's neither here nor there. Statute of limitations is probably up on that. But and so it was a very just affluent people, very rich. It's also it is known as one of the retirees, but you have like an area with like Century Village and places like that. And then you've got like my school was across from a incredible country club called Woodfield. So, you've got your rich people and, the people at the gym dropping their cars off. Me and my buddy are just baked out of our mind. And we got a few looks like, I don't know if I should leave my car with these guys. But we didn't do that again. We didn't smoke that much of it again. We just, it was rough though, man. But that was a good job. I was like 17 years old and the manager of like fucking adults.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I could use the computer. Seriously, the fact that I could use the computer is the whole reason I was where I was. I would, so whatever. I used to skip school and go to work. I like that job. It was a pretty cool job.
There you go.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool job. I mean, you'd figure doing oil changes and getting all nasty and greasy wouldn't be fun, but we had a lot of fun there, man. A lot of fun. Yeah, we made it fun. So, anywho, I guess we can go ahead and get into a little bit of the wrestling for everybody. That is what you're here for. That is what we usually talk, and that is where we will kick off right now. So, Mark, now before we get into those, I just want to let's start off with a laugh.
Sure.
Let's start off with a laugh. I think this is one of the funniest things I have seen in a while, and this has to do with a gentleman named Virgil. Smark, have you seen this picture floating around this week?
The king of fuck money himself? I actually have not. I'm looking forward to this.
Virgil has decided to start setting up his booth, and obviously he's near L.A. Had Stephen Butler. What's going on, my man? How you doing? And he's not only setting up his booth, but you see whose star he's setting up on, Smark? Can you read that?
I cannot. Enlighten me.
That is Mr. Vince McMahon's star.
But of course.
This fucking guy.
That's gotta be such an amazing sight to see in Hollywood Boulevard, because like you got like there's always the people that are like dressed up in costumes and shit. Like usually there's like a guy who's like dressed up like Michael Jackson, and people dress up like Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk and shit. Like you're just seeing those people as you walk by, and then all of a sudden you pass and you see Virgil.
Now here's something.
I wonder, like, is that not like soliciting? Like, wouldn't he? Is he allowed to do that shit? I mean, I guess he's not by any businesses or whatever.
The laws are pretty lax in LA as far as I know. I don't know if he's allowed to. But I will say one other thing I think is absolutely hilarious. Look at that sign that that banner he's got over that table. See how it says "and Virgil WWE Superstar"?
I do now. I didn't before, but yes, I do now see the ampersand up top.
Okay, if you look there, look over to the left, there's a T. It must usually say Ted DiBiase and Virgil, WWE Superstar. But he must have covered up the Ted, just pushed it back and put merch over it. Can you even get two?
Or something.
Can you not get yourself a banner that's just your name, Virgil? You could make your name bigger if you did that. WWE Superstar. How long was Virgil in WWE for?
Not at all, as far as I can remember. Like WWE proper, that would have been after 2001.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he was there for a bit after after they took over WCW, but maybe a year at the most, as far as I could be wrong.
Like, I'm sure he's had to have made like a one-off appearance here and there, and I guess that's technically good enough. But I can't recall him ever actually having any sort of
I
prolonged, like a month or longer, honestly.
just the more I looked at this picture, the funnier it got. And then I saw the and sign, and I'm like, wait, no, he didn't. Yes, and then I saw the T, and I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. Okay,
That
okay,
is amazing.
this
That's just
motherfucker.
love.
You know what though? I will say this. We'll make fun of him and all that, but you gotta fucking respect the guy's hustle. He's always out there trying to, even if he doesn't get people, he's out there hustling, trying to make a living. Got the fucking belt. He's got the $1 million belt. How many of those are there? God damn it! He's got one. DiBiase's got one.
Oh yeah, Stephen Butler's right. He came in for a cup of coffee with Ted Jr. I had completely forgotten about that.
That's right. Okay, I do
I
remember.
honestly had completely forgotten about Ted Jr., honestly.
I really have too. And he's in a little hot water now. We talked about that a few weeks ago with that little apartment scam, or I think that's what it was. Realty scam, I think. Or
I also had Maurice as a manager for a minute too.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was a thing for a minute.
Miz is a lucky man, folks. Miz is a lucky man.
Yes.
Let's just leave it at that. But yeah, there's Virgil out there hustling, right on the Vince McMahon star. Can't even buy his own banner. Find
Yeah,
that.
you start cutting into the overhead that way.
I you know what? And above that, you can see it says the $1 million man. You can see the on the top left, and on the right you can see AN. Actually, man, you can see the whole thing. It says the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and Virgil, WWE superstar.
I mean, there's honestly a part of me that's surprised that he isn't also just selling Ted DiBiase 8x10s. Like, not even ones that he's in, just regular ass Ted DiBiase 8x10s.
I bet they're on. Man, I wish this was a 360 picture.
He told you this story before, but I'll make it real quick. There's, I don't know, people know about him, the Nature Boy Paul Lee.
Uh-huh.
Like a fake Ric Flair. He does a lot of indie shows and shit. He was at an indie show that I was at one time, and he was selling. He had a merch table. He had all his shit and pictures, and t-shirts, whatever. He had WWE DVDs. That's funny in and of its own. They were not officially licensed or made. He burned those motherfuckers. He downloaded them. He downloaded the pay-per-views, fucking burned them to like DVD-Rs and were selling them. It was like amazing. Like he had like fucking shitty little printout like photos of like the graphics for the like DVDs. Like it was amazing. It was wonderful.
Oh, like light scribed on there.
Like he would just like straight up like print off like if you would like go like Judgment Day 2004 JPEG and just download it and then print it and then just like fucking put it in the DVD sleeve.
Oh,
like it was amazing.
I used to at least light scribe shit, man. I still have a light scribe. This one's got. I put my light scribe in here, so I've got the light scribe still. I don't really burn anything anymore because everything's fucking. You just drop it on your phone or whatever now, but. Just in case, I like to have one.
Nice.
So, yeah, man. Like I said, you got to kind of respect the man's hustle out there.
Hey, for sure.
Hey, he's out there selling more than just himself. The $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, too.
There's a bit of a tease. We're going to be talking about somebody else who's selling themselves to much more successful results.
Yeah. So let me pull this up and we can go ahead and get into this. So yeah, folks, we are going to jump right into some news. And we're good. Fuck it, let's go ahead and do it, folks. After all the releases we talked about last week, over the weekend, I think it was Saturday. I think it was Friday or Saturday. It was Friday. Matt Riddle was also released, and I gotta tell you, I'm not very surprised. I don't think anybody should be surprised about that, but they did release Matt Riddle. Now, Smark, this man's had a little bit of, how shall we say? troubles over the past few months.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some troubles, mostly out of the ring. We haven't really heard much about him in the company having any trouble. It's not like an AEW situation, but he's been having a few. And I'm not even going to say a lot of it was trouble. Some of it is just kind of misconstrued. Some of it really is no one's fucking business, to be honest with you. And one of them was a mistake. He tweeted something he shouldn't have at an airport. But anyway,
You said it's an AEW type situation, and now I'm just like picturing like just the exact like fucking script of the CM Punk press conference meltdown, but it's Matt Riddle instead.
I'd be
I
like,
work with fucking children, dude.
bro, I work with so many fucking children. You know what, bro? I love kids. Might have a kid. You know that, bro?
He's eating like he's eating a lot more than just one muffin. Like it's just going through a whole fucking box of muffins.
Oh, and they'd all be different like flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He'd have like, oh man, I think this one's blueberry. Ooh, this one's cinnamon raisin. Bro, try some of this, bro.
I can't recall if he was supposed to be doing it on purpose or if he just fucked up, but there was like that segment that he had with Oscar where he like flubbed up his lines and then just like ran away.
Oh no,
That was a
he flat out
awesome
said, "I forgot my lines," and scooted away on his scooter. Yeah, that was one of the best fucking things ever.
moment. That's great. I loved it.
That's so Matt Riddle.
Yep.
That was so fucking Matt Riddle right there. And it's like, I don't know, but
Well, that's the funny thing is like that Matt Riddle has been Matt Riddle has been Matt Riddle for his entire life because like he was an actually successful in UFC.
right.
He was winning fights. It wasn't like he couldn't cut it and then he had to become a wrestler. He was winning some fights and he was having some good performances. But then of course he would not stop smoking weed and he
Yeah.
really got under Dana White's skin. You can find a bunch of those YouTube videos of like Dana White going on long tangents about how much he fucking hates him. And then he went to the Indies and there were some problems with him on the Indies of like him like refusing to lose to certain people and him just sort of like kind of talking shit about some coworkers. And it was like, all right, well, that's one thing if you're on the Indies, but then he goes to WWE and it's like, well, he's probably not gonna pull that stuff there. No, no, no. He pulled that stuff there. He went after like he would like be making fun of Roman Reigns and shit. And
Mostly Goldberg.
just, oh yeah, he hated like him and Bobby Anthem, just two of the world's biggest Goldberg fans.
Yeah, and I don't know. Dana White has fired this guy fucking twice now. Or, not Dana. You basically UFC has fired this guy twice.
I wonder if that has anything to do with any of this, of like him wanting to get out of there, them wanting to get rid of him.
Well, now remember, TK Endeavor, TKO now. I know they're both same company, but they've got control. They've got the large stake in the company. So if they don't want to sit there and deal with the wellness policy and it's just a fine for smoking weed, they don't fucking have to. WWE might just adapt UFC's wellness policy. They may just join together the two policies. Although it's okay if John Jones snorts a little and then comes on back, and then he snorts a little and then comes on back, and then he tests positive again and they bring him fucking back. Then he goes out and didn't he do some stupid shit with a car and they fucking brought him back because he's John
he hit a person
Jones.
and then like fled the scene.
Yeah, but no, he's fucking John Jones. Let's bring his ass back. No. How many fucking chances do you get because your name is John Jones?
Well, I mean, it's a fight game. They're notoriously seedy people. It's really hard to preach ethics when you have like Greg Hardy on your roster and he like beat a woman. So it's kind of a rough. And I mean, you're selling tickets based on people wanting to see him get beaten up. So it's like, but
well, it kind of makes it really makes sense. The two companies coming together. I mean, both have scummy fans, I guess.
You were talking about wellness policy. There's a video. I would recommend people check it out because it's actually pretty cool. Maven has his YouTube channel and he's been making a lot of videos and he was like going through some like frequently asked questions. And one of the things was like, do they test for steroids? And he's like, yeah, not often. Just immediately after that, he's like, they technically do, but you know when it's coming and they don't test very often.
Random. I mean, they're random tests, and it might be different now. Maven hasn't been there in a long fucking time.
Well, yeah, this is absolutely true.
Yeah, Maven has not been there in a long fucking time. So, but I was actually a fan of Maven, and I'll tell you, I did see a picture of him. Now he looks fucking more jacked than he ever has.
Mhm.
Guy is fucking ripped to shreds. So, taking care of himself, obviously. So you can't fault the guy. Um, but obviously Matt Riddle in a couple months, his girlfriend is pregnant, so he's going to be taking some time off anyway. I guess they just figured, he's been not the greatest name for them, especially after that JFK thing. No, I don't think you can pinpoint the JFK thing as the reason he got fired. Don't put words in my mouth. I think that piled on to some of the reasons. I'm not going to lie.
Mhm.
But I just think when you've got a guy who has been, he was gone for a while. There was a rumor he was in rehab. We showed pictures. He certainly didn't look like he was in rehab doing shots in a pool with his girlfriend, probably when she got pregnant.
Mhm.
So, I just, sometimes, I mean, I kind of like Punk. Sometimes you got to cut your losses.
Yeah,
Great.
I think that's the more interesting because it seemed like he wanted out for a minute. But I think the more
Mm,
interesting part is like what happens next? Because like he's a
um,
talented guy. People like him. He gets over it, connects with the fans. He's a good talker, good wrestler,
mm-hmm.
but very like you can't you can't trust him not to say some shit or to do some shit.
Right. Now, let me tell you what I would hope for Matt Riddle. I'm not going to tell you what I think's going to, I'll tell you what I would hope happens for Matt Riddle. I hope he has his kid, either, whichever boy, girl, whichever it is. Great for him. Awesome. I hope he grows up a little bit and he's young enough to come on back in 3, 4 years, maybe. But, dude, I'm telling you, becoming a father will change you in many ways. So if he takes the right path, he can definitely make a comeback. And I think
Mm,
people would love to see him back. Honestly, I don't think he would be a good pickup for AEW. He may be, but I think right now is obviously a bad time. He's got a kid on the way, very close to being born. I believe, like in a couple months, it's happening. So I don't think he'd be a good pickup right now. He's got baggage right now. Yes, that's a little publicity, but is that the publicity you want for your company? They just got rid of baggage. Do they
mm.
want to bring more on?
Right.
So I would say no. I hope Riddle gets some growing up under his belt. I'm not. I mean, look, guy doesn't want to fucking stop smoking weed. Who the fuck am I to say no? Do it, man. Go ahead. But you can still grow up and do that.
Right.
You can do both, and I say grow up like he's not a fucking adult. It's not what I mean. Mature a little more, just kind of he's gonna just have to become a father. That might be the best thing for him. I guess we'll all find out very, very soon. But good luck to him. But for me, I hope he just gets his shit together. Maybe takes a couple years off and we see him back 2, 3, 4 years at the most.
And we shall see it.
We shall. We shall. And, it was kind of weird. He kind of let everybody know before it really got put out there. Um, he put out a tweet or an X. I don't know what the fuck you call him anymore. He said, just wanted to inform everyone that I'm no longer with WWE. Riddle wrong in a tweet. I think they meant wrote. Folks, this is Forbes. I am on Forbes' website.
I mean, who needs proofreaders or editors? Just,
This, I try to give you guys more legit websites, and look what the fuck we get. Look what the fuck we get. Jesus Christ, I should have just got this off of fucking wrestlingdumbfuck.net.
You've been to my site, have you? Started off as a GeoCities page, but we started getting some more traffic, and it was time to move on from Angel Fire.
That's your website, wrestlingdumbfuck.net.
Mm-hmm. It's just a bunch of like pictures of like South Park wrestlers.
Still on Netscape, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Got that.
And you can reach me through my ICQ number.
Got that at AOL.com email still?
Hell yes.
Hell yeah. Dude,
I'm still burning through my free trial CDs.
You know what's scary?
Sad.
We're obviously, we do a lot of, those guys do a lot of calling on the phone, but I'm in a little inside sales office when I'm at work.
Sure.
We still see a crazy amount of at AOL.com emails.
Yeah, I mean, if it still works and you still have it, fucking why not?
I would not remember my password if you fucking had a fucking machete to my neck and a gun to my head. I wouldn't remember. I couldn't do it.
I never had an AOL email account, but I did use AOL Instant Messenger.
Okay. I had some fun on the AOL back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The old chat rooms.
Actually, we can keep this wrestling related. There used to be Yahoo chats that you could go into, and like there'd be some for whatever hobby you were into, and I would go into the wrestling ones because there'd be people who would just put their fucking like the microphone to their computer like against a television and then play the pay-per-view, so you could like hear the audio of the pay-per-views, not really see anything. Occasionally somebody would stream it through their webcam and it'd be very shitty. Like it would be almost worse than the fucking, like, when you would like to get the illegal cable or whatever and you see the blurry lines every so often. Like it would be almost worse than that. But when you're like 11 years old, 12 years old, you actually care enough to try to fucking seek it out, but you don't have the money. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. I've never seen Matt Riddle's profile picture before. It's slightly disturbing.
He's a very interesting fellow.
Yeah, he is, man. But you know what? I do like the guy. He's a likable motherfucker, man. He gives off that cool dude to hang out with, stoner dude vibe. Hate to say it, but fucking we hanging with our own, man. I mean, I'm kind of a fucking stoner too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem, is that he's too honest. Like, that's the problem, is like if he worked in any other profession that like didn't involve a sort of fame or notoriety, he'd be just fine.
Yeah.
Because like he's the guy at work that you like talking to, because he's like, he has interesting stories, or he's always like happy or chipper or whatever. But like, that'd be the same person that would go home and like tweet weird shit, but then it wouldn't matter because they're not in a position where they're dealing with the public. But with his job, right, he'll go out there and he'll tweet something, and it's like, oh boy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, I hope the guy does what he needs to do. And I hope we all see him back. But this wasn't the biggest, like, whoa, Matt Riddle, holy shit. I mean, he had some things. He was literally, his girlfriend told him at a fucking event by holding up a sign that she was pregnant. That's wonderful for the company right there. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's a beautiful thing, but I don't know. Maybe they knew it was going to happen. I don't think they did, but I don't know. Matt Riddle is just that kind of guy. You want to fucking all of us would probably love to fucking chill with. So,
sure.
So good luck to him and his girlfriend on when the baby's born, and do what you got to do, man. I am sure he's set for a few years. I could see him making an appearance here, an appearance there, maybe, beginning early 2024. But I think right now he's probably done for the rest of the year. He's got the 90-day non-compete, which will bring us pretty much right, into 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him making a couple of little appearances here and there, maybe an indie show. But I don't know. I don't think he'd be the greatest get for AEW right now when they're kind of trying to change their look. We know how we can get rid of baggage image.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just what I'm saying. But we do have a quick timeline of Matt Riddle's issues here. Let's go through these real quick. Matt Riddle's controversies outside the ring. So we had the backstage incident with Goldberg. That was in August of 2019. That went along a little bit. Almost seemed like these guys talked and it kind of worked itself, or it shot itself into a work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Candy Cartwright files. That was a sexual assault lawsuit that was dropped in 2021. That started in June 2020. I really wish it said allegedly went to rehab, because there was actually no proof he went to rehab. So I kind of think Forbes dropped the ball again there. But that was in December of last year. We spoke about that. I mean, look, it's really only 4 incidents. It's not like the guy was a fucking, oh my God, this guy. Not a crazy amount of fucking incidents. Then we have the little JFK thing that happened with the little police officer where he basically said he was groped. But I mean, the guy doesn't have like a fucking rap sheet as long as my arm of shit that happened outside the ring,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a different time and you have to handle things based on today's standards, but outside of the whole, like the groping thing, how many fucking times, and there's a Dark Side of the Ring episode dedicated to this. How many fucking times do you think that wrestlers were fucking intoxicated at an airport? Like in the 90s and the 80s? Like that was probably, it was very much commonplace. It had to have been.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the shoot interviews have talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely, man. But I don't know, man. Well, I mean, fucking what's his name? Waldman used to talk about smoking weed right before his matches.
Yeah.
Sean Waldman, right? Did I say the right name? X-Pac.
Yeah, Sean Waldman.
Yeah. I don't know why. I thought I said his name wrong. X-Pac, Sean Waldman. Yeah. I don't know why I thought I for some reason I thought I meant X-Pac and said the Hurricane's name, Shane Helms. I don't know what I was. Folks, I'm not thinking straight tonight. I'm just in pain. I'm sorry.
It happens. It happens.
The thing is, I said it right, which I'm like doubting myself.
Short guys, black hair, race.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, many people. I mean, please, RVD didn't exactly fucking hide it either.
No.
So it's not like Matt Riddle.
But I mean, he also got punished for it, which was stupid. But I mean, you put the belt on RVD because there was a whole, I think it was him and Sabu. They got busted by the cops, and there was a video on TMZ, and then the push went away and the belt went away. It was sad times, but it was like, come on.
They didn't get busted. They got busted for weed. They didn't get punished for that. They got punished for being caught.
Yeah, exactly.
They got punished for being caught. They wouldn't have given a fuck if those guys smoked weed that whole fucking ride, got there stoned out of their minds, if they didn't get caught.
For sure.
So, anyway. Oh, sorry, folks. That was my little ice pack coming out of my beers. I'll get it in a minute next time I put something up. But anyway, I'm hoping this beer stands. It's got one of those. The bottom is all jacked up.
Oh, no.
I hope it'll stand in the koozie. Let's see. We're going to put it in. That's why I like my koozies.
That's it.
Straighten that bitch right out. All right, folks. I'll crack that bad boy open in a minute. So, I guess, speaking of people who can be a problem at times, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hulk Hogan, folks. We had a little story about him over the weekend. Hulk Hogan, and No lies involved. No nothing. But Hulk Hogan got married this weekend.
Oh.
That's right, folks. Right off
The
TMZ
fucking
Sports.
bandana.
Dude, he can do rag all he wants. I hate to say, but look, she is gorgeous, dude. She's a fucking yoga instructor. Look at her.
I have to
Dude.
wonder what money will get you these days.
Hey, he won a hell of a lawsuit. The wedding was supposedly like a $500,000 fucking wedding. It was very small, very intimate wedding, but dude, I'm
Shit, he's got so much money now he can afford to date somebody that doesn't look like his daughter.
She still looks like his daughter. His daughter was
Yeah,
not there.
kind of.
His daughter put out a little statement that wasn't exactly. Basically, she said she doesn't want anything to do with him. She's distancing herself.
Idea.
I don't know, but fucking go Hulk Hogan. That girl's beautiful. She absolutely is beautiful, man. Like I said, I just know. When last time we talked about her, I just know she's a fucking yoga instructor. But a relatively small ceremony, like I said, in Clearwater, Florida. Actually, I was about to get you guys the Tampa Tribune article, but it didn't have the wedding photos, and she looks too beautiful in the wedding photos not to let you guys see those. So, but
you know what I'm really clamoring for, and I'm hoping to God happens very soon.
What?
We need a Hulk Hogan podcast. Like, I don't care if Conrad's involved or not. I'll still fucking listen. I'll break the rule for just once because I normally don't listen to Conrad-related podcasts. But I will fucking listen to it if you could give me just an hour every week of just Hulk Hogan making shit up. Because, I mean, it's going to be phenomenal.
Dude, that would be fact-checked more than Joe Rogan's podcast.
Well, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Exactly.
I was super excited about it, but then unfortunately that was the same week that there was a couple of passings, so we really didn't get to talk about it. But
I forgot. Stephen Butler says, "Let me tell you something, brother. She's hot. She is. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. Like I said, go, Mr. Hogan. Listen, the guy's a lucky guy. Lucky guy. Yes, he's got tons of money. That's fine. But, they got married in a small church. And great little time. Look, you got a few pictures. There's Hulk putting the ring on that. He's looking, but wait a minute. Look at that left eye. He's not looking at her hand. He's looking at that cleavage. I don't blame him. They did say it was that she had a massive engagement ring. Now he did we had talked about it a couple months ago, Smark, and he just rushed to get it done. Which, once again, looking at her, I don't blame the guy. But here's them leaving. There's a very blurry picture of the ring. Actually, that's after they got engaged. That's the engagement ring you're looking at there. It was pretty big, but Jesus Christ, this guy's got bazillions off of that fucking lawsuit. So, hey, good for them. And, probably was a good, yeah. I
think the true question, the important question here is, like, do you think that they let, like, Brian Knobs be, like, the flower girl or, like, the ring bearer or something?
I didn't see the pictures of who was there, but it wasn't. I don't even think there was many people there at all. I think it was like family and a couple of friends, dude. It was a tiny. Let me see. Let me scroll down this article and see if there's any pictures of it. I didn't look through this whole thing, but I doubt there is. Nah, we're already done with it. I don't know, but I think that it's kind of shocking to see a guy like Hulk Hogan have a small, little, intimate wedding and. Everyone kind of found out after the fact. But hey, Hulk Hogan, bet he had a good time consummating that marriage.
And then going on a very long tangent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was so good. That's like that time I tried out for Metallica, bass guitar player. Oh.
I love you so much that I'm going to turn the phone off.
Hold on. Next call, and then I'll turn it off.
You're a yoga instructor. You're also a driving instructor because we might need one of those.
Wow. But yeah. Go Hulk Hogan. Atta boy.
That's it. That's it.
That's it, man. Listen, if I happen to be his age and somehow alone, I want to find me one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We all should look to do that. Find one of them if we're by any chance alone in our old age and suddenly get to sue TMZ. What I love is he sued TMZ.
We should all be so happy.
Well, he sued TMZ, and look, they still fucking put his articles up though.
Well, he might have also sued TMZ, but wasn't it Gawker that was the one that got him the big payday?
That's right, it was Gawker. It wasn't TMZ. Or did he sue? No, it was Gawker.
Because he sued Gawker for sure. I know that, absolutely.
He
may have also sued TMZ, but I know Gawker is where he got the big payday from.
It was Gawker. Thank you for correcting me, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
But, yeah, man. Good job, Hulk. Congratulations. Listen, I mean, they've been together for a while. I know. I mean, this is his third now? Third time's a charm, they say, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
So, third marriage, he's all over this shit.
Him and Ric Flair just neck and neck.
Oh, yeah. So, no, how many is Flair on? Isn't he on like 8?
Something like that, yeah. It was at least 4 or 5.
Flair's going for a record.
Of course.
Flair needs one more record before he dies. He's going for the marriage record, I guess. What can you do? But, all right, let's get to the next one here. Of course, this was a big story throughout this week. Jade Cargill, folks, was announced as being signed, and they did keep her name, Jade Cargill, which I like. AEW is going to have a little bit of a problem if they don't start doing a little trademarking of names. They're going to have a little issue because people are just going to take their fucking character, they're going to take their whole gimmick, and they're just going to go to another company. And man, I'll tell you, they're already talking about how she has signed a multi-year deal with WWE. I'll tell you the truth. I said, Smark, I think that was one week you were gone, and I talked about her and said this would be an incredible mistake if Tony Khan were to let her slip out of his company. Well, Tony Khan, you fucked up.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you on that one, but like maybe there wasn't much he could do. Like it seemed like the damage had already been done by the time she wanted to start leaving. But like how much? That's the big thing is like how unhappy was she? How long was this a problem for? Like there's a lot of things we don't know about what had gone on between them.
You're right. Honestly, if I had Tony's money, I would have fucking opened the vault to this girl. Here's a blank check. What do you need? What do you need to stay? She is look, this girl has star written all over her, dude. I've said this from the time even when she could barely fucking speak in the ring, she has a presence about her. She is built like not many women are. She's built like a fucking comic book character. She is absolutely gorgeous. She has a presence. She can come down. She looks like a star. Tony Khan could have had a homegrown woman talent from his company that could have really done a lot more. He never had her in. I mean, how many times did we complain about her never having a real feud?
Well, that's the thing is like, that's a very interesting thing is I've actually, because I've kind of wondered the last couple of days, because, it's been kind of common knowledge now that she's been going there. Did they drop the ball with her? And the answer is like, yes and no. Like they tried to push her. They worked very hard on the presentation. They protected her. They didn't have her lose a lot. But at the same time, like what is the high profile feud that she was in? Like what's the memorable match that she was in? Like I could tell you people that she worked with, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean none of the matches really stuck out. She did some stuff. She had a couple matches with Ruby. She had a couple matches with Nyla Rose. She had a couple matches with Taya, but like nothing was ever like anything that anybody was ranting and raving about.
Right. And we always complain there's no substance to any of her feuds. It was just oh, like open challenges almost all the time. Yes, those are great, but when you're trying to build a Jade Cargill, which really not a lot of people have had heard of before this, and you don't give her a feud that we can all just fucking sink our teeth into and get this girl on TV a lot more. She should have been on Dynamite way sooner than she was. She should have had multi-week feuds with women. And you know what? Maybe she would have been happier. Maybe Tony Khan wouldn't have fucking. I mean, we complained about that week after week. Listen, I hope she would stay in AEW. I think she is going to definitely. They are already treating her like a star in WWE.
I mean, for like it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with her, just because like it's pretty obvious that no matter what, like Charlotte's that they're their top person. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's always going to be the case no matter who's there. But
Mm,
like outside of that, like how do they prioritize her? What do they do with her? How do they book her? Do they make her out to be the same kind of star that she was in AEW? Because like I feel like for sure her versus Rhea Ripley is a money match. Like that is
oh,
something that people want to see. That's something that I'd watch that pay per view,
oh,
like
her
whenever that
versus.
happens for sure, because that's an intriguing match.
Oh yeah.
But to double back to AEW real quick, I think that's just a problem for whatever reason that they have with their women's division. Because like, how many memorable feuds can you name? Basically, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, that's about it. What's a good storyline in the women's division that's going on right now? Like what Tony Storm's doing is great, but
Yeah.
like she's doing that by herself, basically. Like, do you need Soraya for this? Not really. Like, it's still the same character. It's still good.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing that on her own. That's not really a like an angle. It's not really an angle. It's just a gimmick. And there's no like real feuds or storylines or anything that's going on that's
Mm-hmm.
really memorable in the women's division at the moment.
No, there's not, but I mean, they are treating her smart like a star already, though. I mean, look right here. They put a video of her walking into the. I've got pictures, but there was a video of this. And by the way, I wish she would stay out of that parking. That is a very dangerous parking lot. People get kidnapped all the time and ran over. You need to be very careful in that parking lot.
Mm.
Don't hurt
Yes,
Jade.
indeed.
Don't hurt this woman. I don't know if you could hurt this woman. She looks like a fucking like superwoman.
Hmm.
I'll tell you the truth. Like this is a girl I could see with a movie career after she's done wrestling.
Potentially.
Absolutely, I think I definitely see her doing something a lot more. So, and even Triple H said right here, folks, a dominant athlete who's here to change the game. Join me in welcoming the newest at WWE superstar at Jade underscore Cargill to the at WWE universe. So there you go. And she has signed a multi-year contract with WWE. So there you go, folks. But I mean, they're already putting it out. I mean, the girl is going to be a megastar, I hope, in WWE. Rumor was she may skip NXT. Not sure that's the best idea. Not sure that's the best idea, but I guess we'll see what happens. So I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am extremely,
Absolutely.
yeah, extremely happy for her. I think she's going to be great over there. But fucking Tony Khan better watch it, man. And people are already talking about Ricky Starks being one to go, Hobbs possibly being one to move, even Wardlow. He's going to start. I mean, if talent starts seeing a lot of things and coming over, it's gonna be a little different.
I think Wardlow is kind of like built for them. I could definitely see them wanting Wardlow. I don't think Ricky Starks. I'm not going to say that they don't want Ricky Starks, but I think Tony Khan, I would hope that Tony Khan can see what he has in front of him with Ricky Starks. I would hope that, but I mean, you could say that about Jay Cargill too, to be fair, but it's like,
Oh yeah.
hopefully he doesn't fuck that one up because I feel more comfortable in how Tony Khan would be able to handle Starks than in
Hmm.
WWE handling. Because I'd be worried that they would like have him in fucking NXT 2.0 just looking like a clown.
Yeah, in a fucking in a troupe with Robert Stone.
Something like
Uh,
that, yeah.
Starks is very young though. He's still in. I think he's mid to late 20s.
Let's look that up, but yeah, I think so.
He's got time. He's got plenty of time. I mean, we could see him bounce from company to company. We could see him do a lot of things in the future. So now, a guy like Hobbs, I'll tell you what. If WWE had interest in Hobbs and he had a chance to go over there, I would jump in a fucking second. The fact that this company keeps fucking giving me they've Dolph Zigglered him. They keep giving him this push and then they stop. And they keep putting out this shit and then they stop. I feel bad for that guy, man. And Wardlow, Jesus Christ, where's Wardlow? I should have done another one.
Yeah, there you go. Starks, by the way, 33, a couple months older than
Oh,
I am. He's February 99, or he's February 90. I'm
okay.
September 90.
30. Oh, wow. I thought he was younger for some reason. 33. Okay.
Yeah, it's still very young.
Very,
Shut up.
very
Move
young.
forward.
Very fucking
Exuberant.
young. He's okay. All right, Smark. I
That's
get it.
fine.
He's young.
That's very young.
So are
That's right.
you.
It's
I
still
get it.
vibrant, still colorful. hmm No grace, no grace.
You okay?
That's right. No, no, fine.
Starting to feel a little mortality coming on there, Smark?
Midlife crisis.
No, you ain't there yet, motherfucker. Okay. You ain't fucking there yet, bro. Oh shit. All right. Let's keep going here a little. Another. We're gonna go from one gorgeous girl to another, and we are going to talk about Mandy Rose. There's been a little buzz about maybe she'll come back to wrestling, maybe she won't. But once again, TMZ Sports tells us she's making life-changing money after she recently, like a week or two ago, started an OnlyFans, folks. Now, she was on that Fansly site for a while, and obviously that was good for her.
Mm.
But this OnlyFans obviously has been another level for her. She said, here, you can see right here, it's been amazing, Mandy said. Financially, I have been doing really well. And honestly, personally and mentally, I've been doing amazing. I have so much more time to spend with my family and just get involved in more things that I never thought I'd get involved in. So she's loving her time, be able to do what she wants when she wants. And folks, I mean, look at this. This girl's not going to have a problem keeping money coming in with, I mean, she's even doing some, she was doing some modeling a while ago, but she is 100% not going to have a problem. But let's keep one more quote she said when asked by TMZ. It's been kind of life-changing, I must say. I'm really blessed, but I will say that I have a lot of financial freedom right now, which is really amazing. That's why I'm so grateful that I'm able to help my family right now and kind of rejuvenate their business. Their business they got going on and just continue with my future. So it's been pretty lucrative, not gonna lie. A lot of people were talking about her coming back to wrestling, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? If you could make money the way she's making money?
Absolutely not. I mean, she fucking works from home essentially because you wake up, you throw on some makeup, you take some photos. It takes what, 20 minutes, half hour at the most, and you fucking call it a day.
She's not stripping in a club. She's not getting groped by guys. She's not getting dollar bills shoved in a fucking garter or anything. She's loving what she's doing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I happen to be a very big proponent of strippers. I was very active in the strip clubs back in the days. Let's just keep it that way. But she's loving what she's doing. And hey, you know what? A lot of people, if they could make money how she is, dude, there's so many every week I see at least 3 or 4 articles. Teacher quits job, starts OnlyFans. Firefighting woman quits job, starts OnlyFans. Nurse quits job, starts OnlyFans, making millions.
Mm-hmm.
Woman loses her family, but making millions on OnlyFans. I mean, Jesus. Get my wife in here to start OnlyFans.
It's a great scam too, honestly, because like you can go quite a while without actually showing anything of any actual real significance, and then after a while you start showing a little bit more and a little bit more, but you could stretch that out for fucking ages, and a lot of people do. I'm surprised that people still keep throwing money at this that website and those people. I mean, I've been privy to those photos, and she seems like she's pretty generous with her resources.
Resources.
But some people aren't always. I mean, fuck, I mean, I know it's really relevant to anybody else, but we were talking right when the pandemic was starting. It was a show that after show that we had done, and Bobby Anthem was there, and he was basically he said everything that ended up ultimately becoming true about how it was going to be this ultimate fucking ripoff. Now all these sad lonely people are going to get fleeced out of just hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was yeah, right on the money.
Well, these same guys would go to a strip club. Now they don't have to leave their fucking house. Except now they're actually not all these women get nude. Some of them just take extremely racy pictures. I mean, she's shown a nipple or something, but I don't think she's gotten nude completely.
Topless. Not
all right.
Completely.
Whatever. See tits every fucking day. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But her, Lacey Evans. Another one.
Yeah, she wasted no time.
She wasted no time. My God, she is WWE.
I can vouch for the quality of her photos.
I gotta tell you, the way WWE does women's makeup does no justice for how they really look. She looks 100 times better in her OnlyFans pictures. I know there's probably some filters going on, but
I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah, but there's also I've seen videos, and it's not as easy to make filters and videos,
right?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know why they put a fucking juggalo in charge of their makeup department, but it's been an interesting choice.
Juggalo.
It's universal too, because all of them all across the board.
You're right.
Just if you see photos of this, you see just candid photos of them, they all look better when they're not on television.
Smark, let's prove a point. Let's prove a point. Here is Mandy Rose. Folks, as you see, we have 17 picks we can go through here. What do you think of that, folks? Think we should do it? I do too. Unbelievable pick. Another unbelievable pick. Let me get out of the way there. There we go. Another Mandy Rose hot shot. This girl's got an amazing. She's just beautiful, and I mean, there's amazing. Oh my God, I need a boat. I could fish right there. Damn it. Somewhere there. I gotta tell you, I don't really.
You're not really sure that catching something is what you really want to think of when you're seeing a photo like that.
I'm actually not really sure she's really on a boat, to be honest with you.
That
picture is, I think it's Photoshop. But anyway, who gives a fuck? But I mean, I'm not just totally perving out here. I'm just saying, I mean, when you can, I mean, some of these pictures are even old, but she was a model before. I'm telling you, when she was on Tough Enough, I immediately knew whether she won or lost, this girl was going to be on WWE television. They were going to use her. She is too gorgeous too, and she has a great little personality. She was actually very nice on that show. Very, you'd think a girl that was like this would just kind of know how pretty she was, but she was very, very. She was a sweet girl
Mhm.
on that show. But she'll never have a problem making money just taking pictures because that's today's society. It's all you have to do.
Yep.
Yeah, some of these are older pictures. That's an older one. Most of these are older pictures.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the funny thing is like it seemed like for a while there that she
Jesus.
wanted to keep wrestling while doing the photos, but then there was a snitch in the locker room, which I really feel like Booker T.
I don't know. She's got
Because Booker T.
She's got a snitch of clothing on right here. My Lord, look at that.
There you go.
I'm sorry, folks. I didn't mean to perv out on that, but I mean, that is just, I mean, again, built like a fucking comic book character, man. Unbelievable. Anyway, folks, you guys can look at those on TMZ if you want to go back. Or you can watch this video and hit pause.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I would do, folks.
Yeah, but preferably just not the portions, but you can see our faces.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, hey, Mandy Rose, I would not expect her to be wrestling anytime soon. She seems like she is enjoying her freedom. She's enjoying spending time with her family. So, hey, go Mandy Rose, go.
What's old Mandy Petunia doing in the Impact Zone?
What? Mandy Petunia? What's Mandy Tulip doing here? Holy shit, what did you just say?
Where is the lie?
Have you seen her OnlyFans, you some bitch? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that'd be AEW with JR.
Oh, JR has.
Oh, good God, JR's probably been donating for months.
That would make me so sad if JR was just a big old internet simp.
I wouldn't be.
I mean, he's got money and he's, I guess I could see it.
Old dude, lost his wife.
Yeah, he's a barbecue sauce mogul.
Lost his wife in a fucking absolutely tragic way. She was just out. They were just out doing something, and I think she was on like a little scooter. Got hit, got killed. I mean,
what I'm saying is I could get him that material for free. I just don't be wasting your money, JR. I'll fucking send me a DM and I'll hook you up.
There you go. Hook him up, Smark. I like that. You're a good man, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good man.
Oh, that'd be great if we could just fucking somehow use that to get him on the show. Just angry Jim Ross.
I don't know. I think we'd actually have fun with that guy. I love Jim Ross, dude. I'm telling you, I think he gets people that hate him really fucking hate him, man. And I just don't see how you can hate. He's the most likable, guy's like a fucking teddy bear.
That is one of the true signs of getting older. It's just like you don't know how many tweets I've seen that are just like Jim Ross needs to retire. He's not as good as Excalibur. And I'm just like, I want to punch a fucking computer screen.
Oh my God.
Like I like Excalibur, but it's like, come on, man. Like he's okay, yeah. Jim Ross is getting older, but like the heat's coming off the fastball a little bit. But he's the fucking greatest that's ever done it.
Well, Tony Khan says those are bots anyway.
That's true.
So I wouldn't worry about the bots, Smark. They're bots, remember?
Mm.
That's
right.
It. That's right. Okay. So, one more thing we're going to get into here. The TV show. Now, I never saw this, Smark.
I watched the first season.
You did? Okay. Well, if you watch the second, it's going to be the last.
Apparently, no one watched the second because it is the last.
Apparently, which is kind of weird, but the TV show Heels, folks, has been canceled off of Starz after just 2 seasons. I guess they had a whole plan they were going on for season 3. Now, I will say there was the strike, which probably affected some shows. Maybe they decided to listen. This show didn't. They might have had to prioritize some shows. So, I'm not going to sit here and shit on fucking ratings or anything. We don't know the fucking Netflix ratings of this show.
Mhm.
So I don't know. And I know that the writer's strike had a lot to do with a lot. I mean, usually right now, Blue Bloods is coming back, and there's no Blue Bloods right now. I don't know what to do. And I finished NYPD Blue. I don't know what to do, Smark.
Start having you gotta have your own family dinner.
I do.
That's the only thing I know about that show is I think they like don't they close every episode like Fast and Furious style where they have like a family dinner.
Actually, it's not the close of every episode. It varies. Sometimes it's in the middle. Sometimes it's like near the end. Sometimes it's right at the end. But it's not always the close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not always it's not always the Fast and Furious closing. Sometimes, but those are one of the best scenes because that's all real. I mean, there's real food. They're really eating. They actually show them chewing food and everything. They really bring in food and let them eat together. And they say they sit there for a couple hours and do that.
Nice.
So it's kind of, they say a lot of those scenes are completely unscripted. It's just kind of them being a family that's been filming together for a long time. I mean, come on, Tom Selleck's just a badass. He could fucking do whatever he needs. He can do anything. Dude, when you have that mustache for that long, you are a motherfucking badass. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now that Burt Reynolds is gone, I mean, there's the market's there for it. He's cornered the market.
Dude, you just don't even realize. There are magazines with these guys half fucking naked, like this mustache fucking rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, these guys were great friends. They were great friends, those two. So
There you go.
Anyway, Heels has been canceled, folks. Spark, well, now you said you watched the first season. What did you just kind of give it some quick thoughts, if you don't mind?
It was all right. Like the whole sort of show is built on like it's a rivalry between the two brothers. Like one brother wants to just stay in the small town and run the wrestling promotion, and the other brother like wants more and wants to see the world or whatever, and they're constantly clashing. It's been a while since I've seen it, but that's what I remember about it. I mainly tuned in because that was before Punk was in AEW, so I tuned in to see because it was a drama based on wrestling. So I was like, all right, that's intriguing. And then Punk was involved, so I was like, all right, I'll check that out too. But I guess fucking when it rains, it pours for that guy because now he's out of it 2 jobs.
Was he in the second season?
I believe so. He was in the first season, and I believe the second season he was in it, and AJ was in it.
Oh, all right. Well,
because she had her own character. I forget what she was called. It was some kind of like dumb pun, I think.
Right.
Let me find out. Let me take a look here.
Go ahead. Now, Stephen Amell was in this, who's obviously done some stuff. He was doing some stuff with Cody back when when Cody was with WWE as Stardust, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not thinking very straight tonight. I'm sorry, folks. I'm doing the best I can here. So that's pretty good. I mean, maybe we'll see him back now a little bit. He was not bad in WWE, Stephen Amell, and I think that's him right there in this picture, correct? The short hair guy?
Yeah.
Looks pretty fucking jacked, but
I completely forgot that Mike O'Malley was on that show.
Huh.
The guy from fucking Guts.
Interesting. Now there is another show that's on Netflix right now. I think it's on Netflix. Wrestlers, which supposedly is mostly about what is it? OVW and Al Snow.
It sure is. El Dorado, by the way, was her name. AJ in Heels.
Okay.
I figured there was some kind of pun name. She was in 3 episodes. That would be the second season. Punk was credited as 6 episodes throughout season 1 and 2. But yeah, Yeah, that's the one on OVW. I see. I actually, the trailer for that is pretty funny because it's just like Al Snow is like positioned as like this expert, and it just made me laugh. Like I forget about what about it was so funny because I saw the trailer like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it was pretty funny.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I said, I'm done with my watching my NYPD Blue for the I don't know how many times.
Oh, I remember what made me laugh because they referred to him as a legend, and that fucking tickled my funny bone.
Come
Because it's like,
on.
okay, we got to stop call. We can't call everybody a legend just because they're around for longer than 10 years. Like, you're gonna have to create another term. Because, like, okay, Al Snow and Terry Funk cannot be described by the same adjective. That is just unfair.
Uh, okay, Terry Funk's a super legend.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to come up with a new fucking adjective. There's gonna have to be legend tiers.
We're gonna have to make tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I hate tiers.
I have to boot up the old tierlist.com or whatever that website's called.
Oh, tierlist.net.
Mhm.
AO, tierlist.aol.com.
That's right. A subsidiary of WrestlingDumbfuck.com, my website.
WrestlingDumbfuck.net.
That's right, yes.
You couldn't even get a .com. Okay.
What's weird is I had a .gov for a minute. I don't know how I slipped that one through.
.org. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right, folks. Let's jump into this one real quick, and I think we have one more. Actually, we have one more leading us right into AEW, and then we're going to, of course, there's a pay per view this weekend, Wrestle Dream, and we will jump into Wrestle Dream predictions, talk AEW while we're or Dynamite while we're in there, and get this bad boy nice and wrapped up. So far, we've rounded off pretty good. So there we go. MLW, CMLL, and New Japan have kind of united for a strategic alliance. As you can see here, it says 3 world class organizations unite for a variety of crossover collaborations commencing this October. And they put out this big article here, this kind of press conference here. I'm not going to go ahead and read it, but basically what they're doing is putting on some shows together. All 3 of these promotions, again, CMLL, MLW, and NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Pretty much that is what they're doing. They're going to be putting on some shows everywhere, bringing in some talent from here to there. This actually could be good for a lot more promotions because, as we know, when these guys do come over to the States from New Japan, they do more than just one show and go home.
Mhm.
So you might see a little more New Japan influence on the indies. You might see a little more CMLL influence on the indies. And maybe even Tony Khan likes to snap these guys up if he was a huge fan. So
That is something that honestly sort of befuddles me is like CMLL and AAA as well as like, why is there not a bigger presence in the United States? Like, it doesn't seem like they care at all to hit the United States market. And it seems interesting because a lot of the way that the luchadors wrestle is like, it's a lot of, they had been doing shit there in like early 2000s that people are just now doing in the US now. Like that high flying style, like a lot of, the high spots and all that shit, spot fest and all that is like, that is something that people love in US wrestling. So I feel like they would be very sick. They do a lot of the same shit in, Mexican wrestling, not Japanese wrestling, but the lucha libre style is like, I'm surprised that they don't push more to get exposure in the US. Like fucking AAA specifically, they block their shit from the US.
yeah.
Like they have the whole the Lucha Underground thing and all kinds of fucking weird legal red tape where they can't have their shows presented in the US or whatever. But I'm surprised that there's not a bigger push. Like,
Yeah. The only thing we see over here is that goddamn crazy Zona wrestling shit. You ever seen those videos? Those brutal fucking videos?
Actually, I haven't.
Really?
No.
I don't
But
want
I
to
mean,
put
like the
any.
whole point, like like what I was saying, like when you like well, Vikingo, when Vikingo was in AEW, like
Yeah.
people were ranting and raving about like Commander, but not as much, but people like him too. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like there's a market for. I'm surprised that they don't push more to try to get like eyes on their product in the US. Like New Japan tries hard, and they're mainly primarily successful with that. But
Mm,
just it's confusing. I mean, New Japan Strong kind of is what it is, but most U.S. wrestling fans at least know of New Japan.
true. Well, thanks to Meltzer.
Yeah, that's true.
I look. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Meltzer, but thanks to Meltzer, a lot of people do know about New Japan, and more fans learned about New Japan through Meltzer. Um, but yeah, I mean, it does seem like that. Listen, this could be good for a lot of different promotions than just these three. This is gonna, like I said, when these guys come over here, if they're gonna be doing some obviously some talent switching, some swapping,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I think it's going to be good for a lot of things, but I mean, you got some Mexican wrestling in here. You got the New Japan. You got the MLW. A lot of good shit going on here. So we could see some. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of fresh matches going on, folks.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. Now, Smark, I've got some good news for you on this article.
Okay.
I do. AEW has kind of quietly re-signed someone to a long-term deal once again. Actually, 4-year deal. You'll be glad to know Eddie Kingston Smark, the Mad King himself, has been re-signed to AEW for 4 more years. Listen, I've been a little critical of Eddie the past few weeks. I really like what I've seen of him in AEW. I like the guy. I think he's very genuine. In Even in his character, I think he's very genuine. I think he's slowing down. I think they need to maybe after this year, maybe after next year, if he doesn't maybe trim down a little bit, maybe just get him into a manager role. Because I mean, the guy's a talker. He could be an incredible manager
Hmm.
for somebody out there. My God, imagine him being seriously put this motherfucker with Wardlow.
There you go.
Put Eddie and Wardlow together. You know what? That would be fucking amazing. You could give Eddie something to do. You could give Wardlow something to do. He could talk for Wardlow. Not that Wardlow can't talk. He can. But my God, these guys, they could do a tag team match every now and then with these guys because Eddie can still go. Man, I think that would be a good fucking team right there.
Sure.
I think Eddie and Wardlow would be a great fucking team. Even if they were a tag team together, Eddie and Wardlow. I think that would be a good fucking combo. But hey, AEW's got this guy for the next 4 years. I don't think anybody thought this was a guy that WWE was going to scoop up. He's way, way past their. I'm not saying they have an age threshold because they're not really, they say they don't. But I think he's way past their age threshold. His New York accent would not belong in WWE. And
I could be wrong, but I'm relatively sure that that was part of the reason why he went to AEW versus them. Because if I recall correctly, he had a deal on the table a little bit that WWE would, but they wanted him to be like an agent
mm-hmm.
or like a backstage person. Which, I mean, absolutely. Could you find a better person to help with promos for like the younger guys?
Oh yeah.
Like absolutely. I wouldn't at all fault, put him have him help people with promos. That'd be great for him. But I think that was part of the problem was that they wanted him to be more backstage kind of guy and he wanted to, actually still compete and shit. And
Oh
that's
my
what led him to be in AEW versus WWE.
God. I would love to see cell phone footage. Excuse me, cell phone footage of Eddie Kingston in NXT giving promo class. Oh my God, I would pay for that shit.
Just people that they signed like from overseas just talking in like a New York accent for no apparent reason.
I would pay for that shit right there. But like I said, listen, no matter how much shit I give this guy, I respect the guy for going out there, being out there so long. And like I said, something that a lot of people can't master. The guy comes off so fucking genuine. And
Mhm.
maybe that's because he's not out there doing a character. He's just out there fucking doing what he does and having a great time. That's great. Whatever it is, I feel he comes off genuine, and I fucking love the guy.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, I really do. And yeah, that's the guy who's grew up in mostly southern states saying he likes the fucking Yankee.
Yeah, that is sort of the interesting paradox of like, because he's a very likable,
Yeah,
like kind of underdog babyface type character, but he's also like a loud, brash New Yorker. So you feel like you should hate him, but you just, for whatever reason, he's got that certain charm.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm the fact that he's looked a little. You know what? Let me put it this way. I think Eddie's looked a little fragile the past few weeks, and I'll be honest. I think after the hernia surgery, they might have brought him back too fucking soon. I
Maybe.
They might have. They might have brought him back too soon, and
Well, he went straight from the hernia surgery to the New Japan Climax, which
uh-huh.
is like fucking multiple days of just the hardest wrestling that you could do. Like it was fucking grueling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe re-injured some things or picked up some new injuries or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, and then the company that it was doing basically nothing with him for a few months decided, "Hey, we've got a fucking storyline for you. Why don't you come on back?" So it's
never. I was thinking about that the other day. Never forget that at mid in the middle of a promo, he referred to Brian Danielson as sweetheart.
yeah,
That was one of the funniest fucking things. This is true New Yorker right there.
that
Just call it,
is
like,
yes, that's so New York.
and he didn't have a comeback for a second. He had to just take a second to process it. That he just called them sweet. Hey, sweetheart.
That's so New York. That really is. That really
That was
is.
fucking amazing. That was amazing.
Anyway, let's get a little quote here from Kingston. If you noticed, you haven't heard anything about me with a contract because I did my shit on the low. My thing was coming up. I got 4 more years. My thing was coming up. I got 4 more years, Kingston said. I'm straight. No one needs to know how much. No one needs to know how long. He just told us how long. I got my fucking shit. I got my fucking shit. I got my shit, and I'm going to be there for a minute because there is nowhere else I want to be. Awesome.
Mhm.
This is the most Eddie Kingston fucking answer I've ever seen.
I did the thing.
Yeah, my thing was coming up, and the thing, the contract. I signed it. We're good. 4 more years. Why? Because I feel like it.
We straight, partner. Don't have to worry about it. We did the thing.
I'm good. I'm good.
Like Tony took me on his boat.
So there you go, folks. Like I said last week, man. Look, I may shit on the guy, but the crowd is so behind Eddie Kingston. It's great, man. It is fucking great. So, all right. Well, I guess from here we can get into AEW Wrestledream coming up this weekend, Sunday, correct? October 1st,
Indeed, it
Sunday.
is.
Sunday. So let's go ahead and get into this a little bit. Let me pull this up here. Do you want to go from top to bottom or from bottom to top?
I am a bit of a bottom myself, but I don't know where to put this in at, and I'm sure that you probably heard it. So let's just bring it up now while we're like transitioning to AEW and the pay-per-view.
Go ahead.
On Collision, Tony
Yes.
Khan said that like the new era, like an era of AEW is ending and a new era is beginning.
Ooh.
And now, while heard this and thought it was just like an empty platitude, because I've dealt with wrestling, and not personally dealt with, but you hear the fucking wrestling promoters just make empty promises all the time. That's what they do.
Right.
There are some rumors. The big rumor is that Tony Khan bought New Japan.
Nah, he even said he has no clue where that rumor came from.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing that made me laugh was like I heard heard somebody read the transcript of the press conference, and somebody just straight up asked him if he bought New Japan. And it's like, what is he gonna say? Yes, you got me. He's not fucking under oath. He's not honor bound. Like if he bought New Japan and he's trying to get like that's a big announcement for the pay per view and he wants you to buy the pay per, he's not going to just say, yeah, I bought New Japan. So like, yeah, I could totally see him downplaying and saying, I don't know where that were, like saying you don't know where the rumor came from and saying the rumor is not true are two entirely different things.
First of all, I think Tony Khan loves the fucking attention.
Oh, absolutely.
So whether it's true or not, he's not gonna flat out debunk the rumor.
People did the work for him because now people are hyping up the announcement. He doesn't even have to. Like I've seen every fucking big, observer, like all the big YouTube channels and shit, and all the big wrestling news outlets talk about, that was the big rumor. Like they're doing the job for him. They're his press agents.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure, even if he didn't buy it, he likes the attention. I know he does. Because it gives him a chance to get on more shows, and he'll just fucking sit there and plug AEW, whatever show is coming on that night or the night after. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't. I'm gonna say no. New Japan is a promotion that I think is just. I don't think he could afford it. Not that.
Oh, I think he could.
Yeah, he probably could. You're right. He's a billionaire.
His father owns a fucking NFL team and a soccer team.
I know. Something about it to me doesn't make sense. I don't know. This would have leaked before. If I got to say that, right? I think this would have leaked way before.
You'd think so for sure, right?
Yeah, but again, you got two private companies making a maybe not, but I would think with the scumbags in wrestling, one person would have fucking leaked it by now. There's no way to keep something like that quiet. That would be fucking huge news if Tony Khan bought New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I don't know if I think he did or if he. It's hard to make the prediction. Like if I had to place like just $1 on it, I'd go yeah. I don't want that to happen. I don't want anybody to have a monopoly. That was the problem before. Was that there was one company that ruled over the wrestling world, which they still do essentially, but there's alternatives now at the very least. But yeah, I don't want Tony Khan owning New Japan. There's the same reason I don't want there to be fucking WWE, like NXT Mexico and NXT Japan, because they fucking decimated the British indie scene. So it's like I don't want anybody to have that monopoly.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the quote real quick from Tony Khan here, folks. That he did not. Let's see.
There would be a couple of positives in the sense that you could have more New Japan people come over here and you have more AEW people go over there. But outside of that, I don't think a lot good would come of that.
Yeah, let's see here. Tony Khan addressed rumors of buying into Japan. Okay. Now, this show this weekend is a tribute to Antonio Inoki, right? Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Correct.
Which does seem weird for AEW to do. You know what I mean?
It does, but they also paid tribute to him when he passed, and they did a few things for him. So yeah, but anyway, this is what when asked about it, Tony Khan said, "I think it's really good that we created all the speculation around Wrestledream, but I'm a little surprised how that speculation picked up. Specifically, a lot of speculation and specifically speculation is in here. The transactional nature of it, because we have such a great partnership right now and we are doing such great things with New Japan Pro Wrestling, said Khan, I was a little surprised to see that. Overall, I really enjoyed working with New Japan Pro Wrestling for nearly 2 years. We have been partners now. So then he was asked kind of a little bit more about it to clarify that he had, let's see, Khan was later asked to clarify his end of an era comments, to which he revealed he had no intentions to do so, primarily due to pay-per-view sales. He said, I definitely have no intentions. Let me scroll down here, folks. I know you guys can see that, but I want you to see it better. I definitely have no intentions of clarifying what I meant by those comments. I want people to order the pay-per-view, but I definitely also never speculated that. I think the internet kind of ran away with speculation based on I don't know what, honestly. Okay. I can see where Tony's kind of coming from here. As a business person, Tony Khan's probably thinking, okay, say no, because as a business right now, we've got a good thing going. They do their thing, I do my thing, we bring in some talent. From there, they take some of our talent every now and then. Jericho was just doing a thing, a video with Takesha that they showed on DDT Wrestling. So they are having some talent exchanges with a lot of other companies. It's not just New Japan. So I don't know, man. You say yes, I got to be honest with you. I would say it's bullshit.
I would hope so. Like, it's not what I want to happen, but it's just, I think more than anything, it's just like, I've heard enough like conspiracy theories that like it starts to make sense after, because it does. Like, I could definitely at the very least see where the rumor came from.
Okay.
Because like you're doing a tribute to Antonio Inoki, which is kind of random. Like you said, that they have paid tribute to him before, but it's kind of random. And then on that same show, I mean, obviously because you're doing a tribute, I guess, but you also have a bunch of New Japan people on the show.
Right.
Sunday, and you're promising this big, and like I said, me personally, had I not seen any of this, I wouldn't have thought any of this would even be plausible. Because I just thought it was like, all right, this is just him, fucking his way of trying to sell a pay-per-view. I didn't think there's any actual big seismic announcement planned. Now, but maybe there is, and if there is, what else is there going to be? Like, is it going to be that, like them getting involved with HBO Max, or like what is the big announcement if not that?
Could it be Sting's retirement match?
It could be.
Honestly, that is what I think it is. That is what my opinion is. I think that is what he's talking about. Sting said he's done with this year. Dude, we're coming up to October. There's only a couple months left in the year. I could see them announcing Sting's retirement match right now.
I would feel bad for Sting if that was the actual announcement, and it's not his fault, and it's not Tony Khan's fault either necessarily, but now everybody's like goofed up waiting for the big, like for some kind of big announcement. If not the New Japan thing, it's something else. And if you're just like, oh well, Sting's having his last match in December, people are like, what the fuck? Like, I would feel bad for Sting in that regard.
But don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I think
for sure.
I think that is what it's coming at. I think that might be exactly what Tony Khan's end of an era. What else is ending?
True. That's the point.
Sting's career.
But then there's also well, we'll talk about it later, but the way the show ended.
Most definitely we will. Absolutely. And I guess we can go ahead and, we're going to mention plenty of New Japan names coming up right here. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to see what's going on. But yeah, and definitely we'll talk about the ending of the show here. But we'll get into a few things right now. Let me turn this bad boy on right here. We can start right now. I guess let's start at the bottom.
What if it was the exact opposite? What if it was that Tony Khan sold AEW? We
Oh,
were expecting him to buy New Japan, and it was like, no, we're actually gonna merge with WWE.
it'd be kind of crazy.
Something like that. But yeah, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So let's start off with the bottom match on the card, which is Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. This match was made official last night on Dynamite. Here is the picture of the match right here. This match was made official last night on Dynamite. Yuta kind of got up in Ricky Stark's face. Ricky Stark was all bloody from the Bryan Danielson match, and Yuta got up in his face. Now, while I did see some good fire out of Yuta, Smark, I gotta say,
I mean, yes, and no,
I'm
'cause the
so
whole promo was like,
dude,
they kick my ass every day, and I still keep showing up.
it's like, well, why are you just some little fucking cuck bitch? Don't let him fucking kick your ass, you little. It makes me a better person. Does it really? You seem like a fucking miserable little prick right now. I'm sorry,
He
but
calls me a little bitch and spits on me, and I every day.
yeah, they pee on me and I like it. Do you? Okay, okay.
It's like you don't have to be a part of this stable, and like also you were kind of trying to sell Ricky Starks on joining, and this is a terrible idea. It's like they treat me like absolute shit. You want to join?
Yeah, they bully me every day and I go back for more. Do you? That makes you an idiot. So, anyway, Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. They are trying to build Starks, but they also love this Blackpool Combat Club. But if I were booking this, Starks would win clean pin decisively.
Let me just first off start off by saying that I like kind of regret my earlier comment on like I think that they know how to use Starks better than WWE would, and then like the next thing we're talking about is Starks being in the opener, probably pre-show match against Wheeler Yuta. Like, boy, did
Maybe.
I put my foot in my mouth on that one. Anyway, Starks is gonna win this one.
Okay. Yeah, I hope. I hope he does. That would be a very smart thing if they let him win. Like I said, they're pushing the shit out of this fucking guy. So yeah, it should be. Okay. So let's go there. Let's go back to here, and we can go ahead now. You see here, folks, we've got this match coming up, which is the four-way tag team match for a future AEW Tag Team Championship match. So this is a very conflicting statement. A four-way tag team match for a future AEW World Tag. Jesus Christ, too many fucking words. Anyway, folks, it's the Young Bucks right here versus the Guns versus the Lucha Brothers versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. Yeah, this guy and this guy. Look at that hair. So there you go. So Smark, way it's been going, what's been going on, which team do you think is taking the future AEW World Tag Team?
Now that you mention it, like I didn't have a
Spot.
problem with how wordy that title was, but now that you mention it, number one contenders match would have been a lot easier.
Jesus Christ, you and your fucking logic. God damn it, Smark.
It's like a fucking future match potentially later down the line.
Yeah, there you go. Your later down the line match. That would have even been more fucking simplistic. But
Okay,
anyway.
get ready for fantasy booking here. Lucha Brothers win. Lucha Brothers lose the title match. Pentagon turns on Phoenix.
Ooh.
Because Phoenix has a belt, Pentagon doesn't. Phoenix is getting these opportunities. And Pentagon needs to be heel, I think. He works better as a heel.
That's very interesting. See, I was going to go with the odd couple, Orange Cassidy and Hook, winning, and eventually Hook turns on Cassidy.
I do like them as a tag team, though. I had been barking up that tree for a minute because they both have the sort of apathetic character.
True. Exactly. Which is what be really interesting though. Man, that would be interesting to turn fucking Cassidy heel, wouldn't it? Ooh.
and keep the character. I mean, it could
That
work.
that's the thing. He'd have to change a little bit, but I see Hook eventually turning, going after Cassidy. I see Orange Cassidy and Hook winning this match. And then down the road, we know what happens in wrestling. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
All right. Fine. Usually we just agree on every fucking match. This is going to be a singles match, folks. As you see, for the AEW TBS Championship, we have Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. Smark, I will go ahead and say taking the belt off of Chris Statlander would be stupid, although Julia Hart is really good out there. Definitely has improved. So I think this is going to be a good match, but I see zero reason to take it off Statlander and give it to Julia Hart, who really hasn't done much but be kind of a fourth wheel.
Julia Hart has.
Mm-hmm.
They've been, I think, I don't know how much of this has just been on Collision or whatever, but they've been making a big deal out of like how many, like she has a big winning streak apparently. Like I wouldn't know about that, but that's what they claim. I'm not going to fucking fact check them.
Right.
But apparently she's been going on this big winning streak. I think that they could do potentially maybe more with the belt, with her being in House of Black and all that kind of shit. House of Black is definitely more visible than Statlander's been. So we're going to, I guess, disagree again on this because I'm going to go Julia Hart.
All right. Listen, I would love that. I just don't see it. But that would be great. I mean, she's been just what I saw from her on Dynamite last night was fucking great. She's definitely out there doing shit. She really is getting pretty engrossed in this character, this kind of this dark character. I like it.
Yeah, she's making it work for her.
She is. She's running with it, man. I like it. We go from there to a singles match for the ROH World Championship and Strong Open Weight Championship. Eddie Kingston, Shibata. That's right. I'm not even going to try to say that first name. That's right. I am. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to say Shibata. Y'all know who the fuck he is. Yeah. Katsuri?
Katsuyori. I fucking got the first name right, and then I fucked up the second name. That's what I get for my Hebrews. Katsuyori Shibata. God damn it, Shibata.
See, you should just let me leave it alone. If it was just the Strong Championship, I'd have a little more of a tough time saying that, this match. But the fact that the ROH World Championship is on there, Eddie Kingston, 100%.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. There's. I mean, if it was, like I said, one title on the line, you may be able to kind of make a little bit of I can see Shibata winning it because of this, but you got both titles. Eddie Kingston is not losing that ROH championship right now. I think it's a good idea to keep it on him. I think that's I think taking it off him right now would look really shitty on Mr. Khan.
Real quick aside, there's a video of Vince Russo trying to pronounce New Japan wrestler names, and it's one of the funniest things in the world to me.
See, I just won't even try. That's what I do.
The idea is he's mocking that nobody knows who these people are, but like people do know who these people are, but it's just funny because he has no idea how to pronounce their names. So it's like that's the actual comedy to me, not so much that like Vince Russo is shitting on New Japan, but it's just more of like hearing somebody with that kind of a fucking thick New York accent try to pronounce those names.
Yeah, and he's also a fucking illiterate piece of shit who's probably trying to do it on purpose. So anyway.
Well, yeah, well there is a racist undertone to it, but it's still kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, we got a 2 out of 3 falls match here. This is for the AEW TNT Championship. This is Christian Cage versus Darby Allin. Now, we did see them last night. I thought that was kind of an odd segment with these two last night where Darby's throwing water on his face to get his paint off and all this bullshit. I thought that was a weird segment, but Christian Cage is actually the legit champion now. After Collision. So there we go. Why does Darby Allin look like Henry like he's got Henry Rollins' body in this picture?
A little bit. And
What the fuck?
I thought it was an alright segment. They were trying. I guess Christian was accusing him of hiding behind the face paint.
Christian was great. Darby's just so unintimidating. Um. Anyway, 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW TNT Championship. Christian Cage all the way.
That is kind of the thing too. Like you said, it's all built up. That whole segment was built on like Darby like being like I'm more than just a face paint. I'm more than this. I'm more than that. Like I'm gonna stick up to you on whatever.
Yeah.
I want Christian to win this match, especially after that segment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he fucking transitioned from his dad being dead to be like, your uncle took you out on a joyride, huh? And what happened to him? He died. This fucking gimmick is making fun of dead relatives. It's the wildest shit.
It is, but I gotta tell you, kind of fucking original.
It works.
Which we don't see a lot in wrestling right now is original. We see remakes, rehashes, this, that. We've seen this, we've seen that. Holy shit, this guy's got the balls to go out there and make fun of everybody's dead fucking relatives.
Mm-hmm. He keeps talking about wanting to fuck Nick Wayne's mom. It's pretty wild.
Well, I don't fucking blame him for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, no, I'll call her. I got her number. Okay. Fucking love it.
It's great.
I fucking love it. Anyway, we got a 6-man tag team match after that, folks. It is Chris Jericho and the Golden Elite versus the Don Callis family, which is now Takeshita and Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay with Don Callis. So, 6-man tag, Jericho, Omega, Ibushi. Jericho and Omega obviously is kind of an odd couple pairing since they, feuded in New Japan and all that stuff. But they're really trying to build this Callis family. I think them losing either by hook or by crook would be a little detrimental to the build you're trying to do. So I'm going with the Callis family.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Callis family too. But speaking of just weird pairings, like Ospreay just feels so out of place there. Like even like on television, he's just like, I'm doing this because you told me to.
Like you're paying me, right?
Yeah, sure. I love you down as check cash, didn't I?
I mean, you're paying me for this one, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll do this. All right. But all right, so we're both going with Callis. Like I said, I feel it would be a little detrimental to what you're building here for Jericho and the Golden Elite to win.
I'm so excited for the next match because I want to know what you think of them.
Oh, okay, good, because I actually want to talk about them a little bit. MJF, this is a 2-on-1 handicap match since Adam Cole kind of bowed out the other night. But we need to get into that more too before we get past this match, before we completely forget about it. MJF in this 2-on-1 handicap match for the ROH Tag Team Championships. MJF versus The Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. I like these guys. I really like The Righteous. I do. I think it's a pretty. It's kind of that he's kind of like the evil hippie. If that, I know that's kind of like an oxymoron.
To me, it just seems like they just like. It seems like they're stealing the Wyatt family gimmick, like the early Wyatt family gimmick. Like,
see,
it just it feels like a blatant ripoff of the Wyatt family to me. It just does.
I don't know. See, to me, Vincent has like a little bit of the Bray Wyatt, but I see a little bit of I even see a little fucking Kazarni Sin Bodhi in there. I don't know. I mean, they sit there, they fucking come out, they talk in riddles. It is a little Bray Wyatt-ish, but I like it. I like these guys. I like that little. I actually like the manager guy better than Vincent.
Like to me,
Dutch.
I would just like the next week. I'd like to see just Eric Rowan just being there. It's like I thought I was supposed to be here. Like I saw the promos and I was like, yeah, they're gonna need me.
Some guys showed up.
Getting the
Um.
band back together. Huh? You guys look different than what I remember, but all right, hey,
uh,
whatever.
okay. So let's get it. Let's before we make a decision, Smart. Let's dig. Let's dig into a little bit of what happened on Dynamite, so we can, I
I
guess,
actually
give
do
some.
have a critique of this segment too.
I critique. I don't know, but there's some crazy stuff to this segment. Now, obviously, we do know. We said last week that Adam Cole might have hurt his knee. He was limping when he jumped off the ramp.
Mhm.
I'm starting to think that that was a whole plan right there. This was all a ruse, if you will, sir. But
I hadn't considered that. That's interesting.
well, I'm working Roddy into this, my man. I'm even working Roddy into this. That's right. I'm going there. Yeah, I think we may have two fake injuries going on at one time. I really do. I think this may be the way it's going. And I think I work with me here.
Okay.
Roll with me here for a minute. Okay, so last night, Adam Cole comes out. He's on crutches. But first, before we do that, I can't miss this, Mark. We had a segment last night on Dynamite with Adam Cole and MJF where they're on a boat.
Yes, this was my critique, but
those two on the boat were great. It almost seemed like MJF had Adam Cole out there for a hit. He's talking about how delicious the beer is while putting the rings in the cooler. It was like he was getting the gun like for a hit.
mm-hmm.
And Cole's like, "Hey, you're not bringing me out here to knock me out with the dynamite diamond ring and then leave me out here all alone, are you?" No, never do that. It was a great segment. Then, folks, we got Captain Insano.
We sure did.
We
I do love the idea how that is just like Big Show just has that attire around from like that's become his swim outfit.
Well, we did talk about this months ago that Tony Khan did buy the rights to the character.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming when that happened, Big Show's those things look sparkly clean. So I'm assuming he went ahead and bought those. Which I find funny because now we can have Captain Insano whenever we want him. But what I find funny here is literally, if you look over at Adam Cole, he looks like a younger version of the guy from Jaws, the old the guy that couldn't speak. Oh yeah, never gonna need a bigger boat. Look,
It does make him look ultra southern.
he does. He looks like, and he's talking about how first of all, no one calls beer delicious unless you're drinking apple beer in a skirt.
I really and truly like if it had somehow come out that Adam Cole has never had a beer in his life before, that would not surprise me whatsoever.
No, for a minute there, I thought they were drinking White Claw, and then I'm like, no, I don't think MJF would do that. But anyway, we did have this segment. We could not pass this match without passing this segment. But anyway, we go through all that, and eventually
That was my critique, by the way. So MJF's
Yeah.
supposed to be like this like rich character,
Uh-huh.
and he has this like little boat, but then like Tony Khan's dad has a fucking yacht. Like you couldn't get dad to let you use the yacht for like 20 minutes to record this promo.
Oh,
Which I mean, I guess you couldn't have him fishing off the giant yacht. I guess it would work, but
well, I get it, but that is probably a 2 $150,000 boat they're on.
Yeah, that's true.
That
Also, I
is
like the
enough.
idea that they just casually brought out the idea that MJF like killed a man once.
Yeah. And
Because he
yeah,
said the last time I dumped a body off this boat, I almost got in trouble.
almost got in trouble, yeah.
So it
And
is now
yeah.
part of canon that MJF killed a man.
And MJF can just knows all the rules of the ocean. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
let's just pass this segment and go on to
See
where
Captain MJF.
exactly. So we're going through. We finally get to the end, and these guys are out there, and Cole's sitting there in a chair because he's on crutches. Excuse me.
Mm.
They're doing the segment. Adam Cole almost relinquishes the titles. Now, but I do have to mention on that boat they had a quick heart to heart about how friends can have other friends, and it's okay. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Because now we can move on. So they're out there, and Cole is about to relinquish the titles because he can't compete, but he doesn't. MJF says, hell no, don't do that shit. These titles will be here waiting for you when you get back as you're getting doggy kisses. Okay. So we get that. And then next thing you know, that's fine. Roddy comes out. So we see Roddy coming out, and he's got the neck brace on. Now and the hospital closed still. Now we know Roddy is faking this injury, right?
Right.
Now, what if Adam Cole is also faking his injury? Because now, if you remember on that boat, MJF said that him and Roderick Strong were on the phone a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
What if this is just two guys faking injuries and they're really together in a, Nora would love this, a conspiracy
That's right.
to take out MJF with the Kingdom. And you have the kind of new Undisputed Era right here with Bobby Fish coming back. Or I'm sorry, Kyle O'Reilly. I'm sorry, not Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't considered that, but I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they were the people from the end of the show.
That definitely was not MJF. That body that definitely wasn't MJF. And let me pull up that picture for you guys. At the end of the show, now let's just go into after all this went down, MJF is kind of saying bye to Adam Cole when Jay White comes down. They have a pretty lengthy back and forth, to be honest. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes too long of a back and forth. But then at the end of the show, or after that segment, at the end of the show, we see someone beating down Jay White in a devil mask. Now, that mask was up there during a promo with Cole and MJF. You see this, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
See that, everybody? Right there? Same mask right here. Now, that is a pretty thin person. Now, what if that is Adam Cole? Again.
He gets busted because Zack Sabre Jr. is in the background. He just walks up and there's an overwhelming size difference. It's like, shit, it's Adam Cole.
Yeah. Now, they could be beating down Jay White just to fuck with MJF.
Well, no, I mean, there's more to it than that. If I hadn't considered it, but now that we were talking about it, it makes sense, I guess, because Jay White was the one that was talking about taking MJF's belt from him.
Right.
So, like, he's establishing himself as, like, being the threat to the belt. And if Adam Cole wants the belt, if this is all about, like, trying to get Adam Cole the belt, then you take him out and, that's part of the competition.
I think this is all leading to Roderick Strong and Adam Cole together again. MJF being left out in the cold. And that's what I think. I think because we're all expecting MJF to turn on Cole.
Mm.
I think we're going to get the opposite. I think Cole is turning on MJF. It's the only way to go, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Only way to go. And again, we're gonna keep getting MJF, our scumbag. I love the way they do this babyface thing with him with our scumbag because he's still a scumbag, most
The
definitely.
name of his fan group is the Pores. That made me laugh.
There you go. But I think that's what we're leading to. So
We don't have to spend a super long time talking about this, but what did you think? Other than just you mentioned that it went on maybe longer than it should have, and I
mm,
don't disagree with that. What did you think of the whole little promo battle? Because it kind of seemed like back in the day, you know how they used to put like people up there with The Rock just to see if they could like kind of hold their own.
mhm.
Like they did it with Chris Jericho to overwhelming success. They did it to Billy Gunn with overwhelming failure. And it was just like, all right, well, no big push for you. It was just, I wonder if it was just like the Tony Khan's way of just like kicking the tires of like seeing if Jay White can get like a big solo like main event type of push going.
I think they both held their own. I think Jay White. I mean, MJF has no problem doing out there and talking on the mic, but I think Jay White held his own with MJF. I don't think
I was
he.
kind of impressed because
Yeah,
I've heard him cut promos in New Japan, and that was probably the best promo I've heard him cut. He's not usually a good promo guy, but I think he did a good job.
yeah. He didn't really let MJF put him fucking down. He didn't really let MJF over speak him. I thought it was very. Look, I'm not the biggest Jay White fan. I've never actually heard him cut a promo, but what I heard last night was pretty good. I mean, to be able to get in there with MJF and not look like a fool, not bad. Not bad. All right, we got 3 matches left here, Smark. FTR versus Aussie Open. This is a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. What are you going to do here? FTR, Aussie Open. I definitely would go with FTR here.
Yeah, I'm going with FTR too, but it hurts my heart because as we've established, I'm a big Mark Davis fan.
Yeah,
Just the whole fucking look, the mustache, the mullet, it's all great.
I totally agree. 100%. Wow, this is a weird picture of him. Look at this.
Yeah, he looks clean there. I don't like that.
Look at this picture of that guy. Holy shit.
I don't like that as much.
Whoa, these are young pictures of these guys. That's pretty fucking cool though. But yeah, yeah, FTR.
Yeah, FTR.
All right, folks, we go to a singles match with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, who last night had a pretty good contract signing. Loved the little kill shot reference by Strickland there. That was pretty slick.
That man's gonna hurt his back. He's been working hard to carry this. I would have loved like Swerve would have become the biggest star in that company if like he just like sort of went off the script and like did things a little bit early. Like when Adam Cole did, or not Adam Cole, when Adam Page did the whole thing, just spiel like 15-minute talk about how there's been a rain cloud hanging over him, and he knew that even though God was making it rain on him, he dare not open the umbrella. But now he's finally not sad anymore. Like if he like right after the end of that whole little monologue, if Swerve would have just stood up then and slapped him as hard as he could, like the crowd would have went nuts. I would have went nuts at least. I'd be like, this is great.
It sounded like a promo that the Penguin from Batman would have cut.
See, it was just like 10 minutes of him talking about how he's sad. He was sad, but he's not sad anymore. It's like, this is not compelling.
No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. And the segment last night really wasn't that. It was good. I'm not going to lie. Swerve, I'm going to 100% agree. What you just said is right. Swerve is fucking really carrying that shit, but.
Well, you talk about people that are supposed to be good wrestlers or allegedly able to have like a match with a broom and it would be good. Swerve had a promo with a broom and made it work.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, absolutely, man. Loved it. I mean, it was like I said, it was a Good say. Swerve definitely. I mean, we're sitting here, we just talked about MJF and Jay White, and I think those two kind of were neck and neck right there. But yeah, I definitely think Swerve was kind of the winner of this one. Dirk says Paige channeling his inner goth.
Mm-hmm. Like I was hoping like somewhere in like minute 6 of his like diatribe that like Darby Allin just walks into the ring and just starts painting his face.
Oh, please, let's change it. Oh, there we go. Emo Adam Page. I love it.
Like if you're gonna steal the gimmick, you might as well have the face paint. Here you go.
There you go. There you go. All right, folks, last match and wrapping up this bad boy of a show. We've got Bryan Danielson. Let me get back to where we were. Sorry about that. There we go. We've got Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Just a singles match, folks. Just a singles match. You know, I got to tell you, nothing on the line here. Danielson, Sabre. Could Sabre actually win this? Does Bryan need to win this?
He could, and he doesn't need to win this.
I'm going Sabre. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Sabre.
Danielson won at Forbidden Door, didn't he? I think he beat Okada.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I'll go Sabre, man.
I don't know why. I got a bad feeling about picking Danielson in this match.
Yeah, I could see it.
All right.
Well, because you could also go with like the whole idea is like his career is allegedly winding down too, so you could see him like maybe start to like lose a couple of big matches, and he starts doubting his confidence, and then you can build a story around that.
I mean, he's like with the BCC, but not with the BBC. I'm sorry, not the BBC. Excuse me, folks. The BCC.
Hanging out with Keith Lee in the back.
Wow. That was a total slip right there. I'm not in my right mind, folks. I'm sorry. I'm in pain.
It's a fucking state. It's Too Cold Scorpio, Keith Lee. They're managed by Rob Parker, but nobody knows why.
It's just Bryan Danielson and a bunch of fucking big giant black men.
Like that. It's like the fucking meme where it's that like small blonde white girl and she's surrounded by these like 8 big black guys. It's like a screen cap of a porn or whatever, and they turned into a music. That was Bryan Danielson.
Just imagine Bryan cutting that from me, the BBC. Bree's just back there with a smile on her face.
He's got a fucking bandana on. He's dressed like a fucking 90s rapper. He's dressed like fucking Tupac from fucking 92. He's got like a Detroit Red Wings jersey on and fucking red bandana. Some Timberlands on.
There you go. Dirk said that stands for Big Black Car. Thank you, Dirk. Mm-hmm. The BCC. He's like with them, but not with them, but kind of on his own. But I don't know, man. Thank you for saving me there, Dirk. Thanks for saving me, Dirk. I appreciate that.
I actually like this stable. It was like when they fucking snuck Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination.
Anyway. Shit, let's see. Stephen Butler asks, Omega versus Ospreay at Forbidden Door is a match of the year for him so far. Do you think Danielson versus Sabre could be as good or better? Fuck yeah. With the way Bryan Danielson has been kind of going off lately, I definitely think so. I mean, look at the match he just had with Starks. And he's still not 100%. You see, he's still heavily protecting that arm. But yeah, I definitely think this could be up there. I think this match will definitely be a banger, as the kids say.
Yeah, I can think so. I mean, I'm not a huge Sabre fan, honestly, but he's a good wrestler. He's got the skill in ring. Mm-hmm. So if they give him, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, and you just let him go all out. Because, I mean, like you said, he's coming off the heels of that match with Starks, and that was one of my favorite matches
A
this year. They
fucking
just beat the ever loving shit out of each other.
brutal ass match. But I'll tell you what, man, it's hard to believe that AEW's got another pay-per-view coming up already, because they've had like, this is their third one in like in what, 6 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not that far removed from Forbidden Door.
No, I mean, I think in 6 weeks might be a little bit of a
Not Forbidden Door, from fucking All Out.
all out. Exactly. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, we will definitely be getting a good show this Sunday, folks. And on that note, Smart, I have absolutely nothing left. I think we have drained the wrestling pipeline.
Drain the. We did some fracking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was very hard to get a license, but a permit. But I was able to finagle it.
Ooh, using the connections. I like it.
Yeah, I finagled it. I called Hunter. Not Triple H, Hunter Biden.
Very nice. Yeah, they all stay together. All the hunters. It's a club.
I'm sorry, folks. I had to make one small political joke there, and I won't do it again.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I was like kind of not paying attention.
That's fine. It's fine. But all right, folks, thank you. Thank you very much for a chat room coming on in. Dirk, I know you kind of got here late, but I don't know how much later you think we're going to fucking stay on here for, you prick. But
I think Solid Monster just went off the air.
Oh, there you go. No, it's Thursday. He's not on the air on Thursday. Come on.
No, I saw on YouTube there was like a 2-hour long video of him just complaining about Matt Riddle. I was like, no, thank you.
I didn't even see that. I actually have been. You're gonna laugh. Being as you bastard, being as I am a huge obsessed NYPD Blue fan, there is a podcast I've been listening to on NYPD Blue. A little tough for me to listen to. It was obviously they started recording this back during the Trump era, and they are very political on this show. And for them being such a fan of a cop show, the two guys obviously do not like police at all. So it's interesting to listen to, but I'm a fan of the show, and they stick to the show 85% of the time. So
see, that went the exact opposite of what I thought that was going to be, because I was thinking it was going to be like how like they discuss NYPD Blue the same way that we discuss wrestling, where it's just like 2 minutes of NYPD Blue, and then I thought it was just going to be like a whole bunch of like political like fucking I don't know, like MAGA type shit. And it's like no, they actually hate cops. It's like, that's weird.
Yeah, they you can, like, their hate for police just kind of grows. In the beginning they didn't, but then obviously it's a weird dynamic, yet me being such a fan of the show, I don't give a fuck. I'll deal with it because they basically go over every single episode.
Oh, okay, Spitball Media and Wrestling Soup were on. I don't even know what Spitball Media is.
Oh, Soup's usually done way before not way, right when we start. Dirk might need it. What the fuck is Spitball Media? Never even heard of them. Interesting. All right. Anyway, folks, I appreciate everybody coming on in. I appreciate the chat room coming in. I appreciate Dirk. I appreciate Stephen Butler. Norab wasn't even here, but Norab, damn it, I appreciate you, sir. And I think Smark might too. There you go. So when you do listen, sir, thank you. Stephen Milan, I haven't plugged you in a while, but you're always out there liking, listening to the show, and I definitely appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. And on that note, Smark, anything else? Anything? I know they can find you somewhere.
Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on YouTube. Totally Inappropriate Sports. We're streaming live. You can check out the VOD. You can also probably get the podcast wherever you get podcasts. We talk sports. We're talking NFL primarily. The Bears are 0-3, and I hate football. But the Packers just lost by a significant amount to the Lions, so we'll have fun making fun of Luke. So go ahead and check that out Monday, 8:30.
All right. Check out Smark, folks, definitely. And that is it. We will get this bad boy put up. But once again, thanks everybody. Much appreciated for y'all coming in here, listening, taking the time, downloading, whatever you do, however you listen to this show. Thank you for supporting us. And we will be back here next week once again doing the same thing, the same bat time, the same bat channel right here on YouTube. Don't forget to listen, and review and subscribe and stuff like that, bro. Bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right, bro?
And just go ahead and leave 5 star. You can talk shit if you want to. Just leave 5 stars too. Just this is fucking awful. 5 star.
Yeah, tell us we suck, but just put 5 stars there. Even though, hey, I don't care. I don't care. But definitely go ahead and, comment on YouTube and all that stuff, folks. We definitely like all that. It definitely puts us up there in the old algorithms. And there you go, folks. Thank you. And see ya!